Hi, welcome back to Chow with Chow. Today we're going to taste and recreate Tiger Sugar's Black Sugar Boba Milk. Black sugar is an unrefined cane sugar that's traditionally from Okinawa, Japan, and it is known for like a really caramelly flavor. Now, Tiger Sugar was founded in Taichung, Taiwan, and they became super popular because of those tiger stripes around their cup and their really chewy and fresh boba. Today we're going to get their most popular menu item, which is the Black Sugar Boba Milk. I love the streaks, super cute. And the boba's hot at the bottom. So they recommend shaking it up, I think 12 or 15 times to just kind of mix it up. Ooh. I normally like to change the sweetness and the ice levels of my drinks, but this drink, they had a specific recipe and I wasn't allowed to change it. So let's find out if we like it. Okay, the brown sugar flavor is really wonderful. Their boba is very soft. I've had a lot of boba in Taiwan and in America, and this might be one of the better ones. Definitely one of the better ones in the United States. Oops! Now, it's really nice because the tapioca, when you bite into it, you can taste that it's actually made with the black sugar. It's not just coated in black sugar, and I think that that is a really good thing to note. There's actually no tea in this drink. It's just the black sugar with the boba and then just a ton of milk. It's actually surprisingly not that sweet. At the bottom there was a lot of sugar, but it's like a subtle sweetness and it basically tastes like a caramelly milk. Compared to milk tea, I really like the flavor of tea, so I would prefer this to have some tea in it and the black sugar boba. But they also have other menu items. They do offer one of these drinks that have milk tea in it. And they also have this signature drink with that cream foam on top, which isn't my favorite, but definitely check it out. I've never worked with tapioca flour before, so I'm a little apprehensive, but I imagine it would just be like regular flour and like rolling it into a dough and cutting it up. So it should be okay, but we'll see what happens. As I'm recreating this drink today, I really want to try to make my boba super soft. So I went out and got some tapioca flour, or tapioca starch, it's the same thing. And it's a really thin powder. It feels a little bit like cornstarch. And I also got black sugar. Now it says brown sugar on the packaging, but it is black sugar in Chinese. It says Hei Tang black sugar. So just make sure you're getting the correct kind. So I was looking at some recipes online and it looks like there's 3 main steps to making this drink. The first step is to make our boba dough and form them into little balls. The second step is to boil the boba dough. And then the third step is to make the black sugar syrup. So to start, we're going to add water and black sugar to a saucepan and bring it to a boil with the lid on so the water doesn't all evaporate. And then now that it's boiling, we can add in half of our tapioca starch. And we're adding just half at a time to make sure it's well incorporated. And then we can add the other half and start thickening up into a dough. So we ended up adding a little bit more tapioca starch than my recipe said to. And I'm like a little confused because we got it to a dough, but it's this like solid half liquid type of consistency. And we'll see if we can get this to form into a dough. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little confused about this texture. If you look at it, this texture that I'm seeing right now from this dough is exactly like cornstarch or wet sand. If I squeeze it, it turns into a ball, it's really hard. But if I let it sit, it turns into like this wet, liquidy kind of texture. So originally the recipe that I was supposed to do, I was supposed to roll these into logs. Watch what happens as I roll this into a log. Oh, so I'm gonna just grab a little clump and roll it into a little ball. If I immediately drop it into some more tapioca starch, and then boom, I got little bobas. So that's what I'm gonna try to do here and see how many of these little boba balls I have patience to make. But I have to say, this is a very interesting experience so far. Finally, we have 1 bowl of boba. If this is how people make them, I would charge like $20 for a drink instead of 50 cents for extra boba. But I'm sure they have machines that do all those hand rollings for us. But that was a lot of work. We're going to cook these boba for about 15 minutes in boiling water, and they'll float up to the top and expand and turn a little bit translucent. Now let's scoop the boba out into some cold water so it can stop the cooking process and help give it a really nice texture. They are so cute! Ah, look at them all shiny and round. I have to be honest, earlier when I was making the boba, I really thought this was going to fail, but they look real, like real boba. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. You can see also that they're a little opaque on the outside, and on the inside there's like this little hard core. That's because they need to cook a little longer in the syrup, which is our last step. So to make our syrup, I'm adding in water and black sugar. Now that it's come to a boil, I'm putting our boba back inside the pot. My parents actually made me fall in love with black sugar boba because they both went to National Taiwan University, and near their college campus, there's a super famous boba shop, and this is all they sell. And now that we're starting to reduce down our syrup, it's looking more and more like that huge vat of boba they have out front. It's been 20 minutes and I know that it's ready because the syrup is nice and thick. So I'm going to pour it into another bowl and let's let it cool a little bit before we put it into our cup. Wow, so all that work for just this little bowl of boba. Before we even taste it, I just want to say this would be worth it if we made like a giant vat. And I also am a little apprehensive about how it tastes because our dough was so crumbly when we were making the boba. Now, let's plate it. Let's put it in here. So first we just gotta scoop in some bobas. Ooh, so syrupy. Just drizzle it on in there. But I really like those tiger stripes. I'm going to try to drizzle it in a way that we can have drips coming down the side. And my milk has appeared. I think they used like a whole milk, but I have lactose-free 2%, so just use whatever you have. Are y'all ready? Oh, so beautiful! I love, did you see how the little bobas kind of floated up as they went around? Oh, that was so pretty! And look at those stripes. Ooh, seeing the syrup dissolve into the milk, and my milk is turning like this nice caramel color. Let's give it a taste. It's not coming up. I got one. Oh wow. That is so hard. It's much harder to make good boba than I thought. Okay, flavor-wise, it's hecka there. Like this syrup is so good. This milk is amazing. Great flavor. I think ours is a little sweeter, which I actually like. So that tastes great, but woo, our boba is hard. Remember that little white center I was talking about earlier? I do not think that got cooked down. Well, when we were making it, it was probably the dough. The dough was not the texture it was supposed to be, so I'm sure that affected its cooking process. So maybe it's just a super long cook time. I guess I should have known that it was going to be hard to make boba because I've never had boba as good as the shop that I've had in Taiwan, and this is no different. But was this worth making? I don't know about that, but I know at the grocery stores you can find like freeze-dried boba balls that are already flavored, so maybe you could check that out, or just spend the $5 and buy it from Tiger Sugar. It was a blast to make, and I did learn a lot. I have a ton of tapioca flour left over, so I'll probably try making it again. If you have experience making boba at home, please let me know in the comments below where I went wrong. Why was my dough so crumbly? But it was a lot of fun anyway, and thanks y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Chow with Chow.